Not really a live streamer anyway. I'm just a military intelligence agent.
You ever talk to anybody that's telling stolen valor stories? They can't for the life of them ever come up with a believable story. Like, I served in the Navy for 4 years as a cook. Or I worked as services for the Air Force and just was a janitor, you know what I'm saying? They gotta give themselves the most prestigious titles they can possibly think of. They've been making up stories like, yeah, man, I was a Delta Force Navy SEAL sniper for the U.S. Marine Corps.
I have just been summoned to go to New York City.
Is the military responsible for temples being excavated underground here in Utah? Yes.
Was they ever at Fort Meade? Yes. Have I ever built a covert communications network? Yes. Have I ever done any work on Hammer and Scorecard? Briefly. Have I been to Fort Belvoir, Virginia? Yes.
I single-handedly took out Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, and those Somali pirates that captured Captain Phillips.
Check 4, primary. All start. Go. Alpha. Alpha, go. Dictate.
Why do y'all stories have to sound like a crackhead's fever dream?
Okay. Oh, subs only. Sorry about that, locals. I'm like a rookie. Not really a live streamer anyway. I'm just a military intelligence agent. I pretend I never said that. Anyway.
The liars that truly believe that they're telling the truth are by far the most dangerous.
Step right up, one and all, as the Phil Godlewski, also known as Phildo Fraudlewski, clown show continues. What's up, everybody? It's Booma on the Digital Samurai for Truth, another painfully beautiful production. I give you a little high out there, a little late, but it is what it is. Trying to get back into the groove of things. Haven't been putting out as much content, but focusing on the health stuff. You guys know how it goes. I've been on this channel, but we're gonna get into what that guy's talking about there. So I would agree that the liars that think that they're telling the truth are the most dangerous, and I think in some aspects that would be a gene decode. But I think in this case, with a Phildo Fraudlewski, I think he knows darn well that he is lying and grifting, and he gets off on it. He's a sick individual, and that is going to be shown. And people are just exposing this guy left and right for the fraud that he is, but that he takes like sick pleasure in people being, in probably his mind, stupid enough to actually believe him. That's how I see a Phildo Fraudlewski. Now, I think there's MK Ultra and there's all kinds of stuff that comes into with some of these guys. Like when it comes to Gene. Gene used to say that Phildo was one of those guys that's like 95% correct because, you know, only Gene's 100% correct. But I think guys like Phil know darn well that they're lying to the public and they get off on it. Gene, I really don't know. I think he actually believes a lot of the crap that he says, because he has the infinite timeline, so anything that he says is true somewhere. So anything that comes out of his mouth, he isn't held accountable for. That's how sick it gets with these guys. But let's get into this Digital Samurai News and see what kind of damage we can do. So this takes you back. So I'm going to share in the description, as I always do, a lot of the resources, the links to these various people. This Rhonda C is doing a lot of great work on X, it seems, exposing Phil Godlewski. I know some of you weren't on X, so there's going to be a website also, and a Rumble channel for the people that have access to those things and not the social medias. But Rhonda saying here, why are there not more truthers calling out this cancer that is Phil Godlewski? He keeps people dumbed down. And so this one goes back, and I think this was when so this is just a snippet and someone talking over it, but this is when he called everybody out, and now we're going to find out how that's going for him. But he was calling out X22, calling out some big names, and threatening to sue everybody because, he was dumb enough to go after the Scranton Times, which is exactly what we're going to get into in this one, because if you don't know, you'll know. But let's check this out real quick and we'll get going.
Any of you that are spreading this shit, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna take everything you have, and I don't even need it or want it, but I'm gonna take it anyway. Because you are committing a crime, and I'm gonna prove it.
Okay. What crime? Oh, Phil.
You thought they were gonna follow you because you put stars around your names?
You have the check mark. You have a check mark, so don't forget that.
We the media?
Oh, we the media now.
X22?
Ooh,
X22.
Really?
Dave, I'm speaking directly to you now, Dave. Listen to me. I hope you enjoyed that program, because pretty soon, it's going to be called Phil 22.
I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, so many empty threats.
We're going to see how that one's going. That was when everything kind of blew up, and the truth about his, sexual relations with a minor came out, and he was going to sue the Scranton Times, and that's what we're going to get into. So for all of you that aren't in the know, I'm reporting this just a little bit late, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that aren't on social media. Like in 2019, when I started learning a bunch of stuff that was considered red pill, Q, and all that kind of stuff, it's almost been nonstop daily of researching stuff. Now I do it a little bit differently because I question even that kind of stuff pretty hardcore now. And there's plenty of reasons to question everything because of the CIA infiltration into this movement. So like I said, though, I'm going to point to certain X profiles. This Marty Like Me Now doing some awesome work here. This is going to get into it. So this is talking about how this is what got Phil Godlewski, by pleading guilty, admit to the crimes you were charged with. Gold co-partners with this guy and takes half of your retirement. So this is when they're going over what he pled guilty to. It's like a little reminder, like, bro, you know what you already pled guilty to. I don't know what you're going to get away with trying to sue these people because you've admitted it. But let's check this out.
Correct.
Number 11, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are admitting that you did things you are charged with, and that if you plead not guilty, the Commonwealth cannot force you to take the stand and either admit or deny that you did the things you are charged with? And you answered yes?
Correct.
Number 12, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up your right to appeal any question in this case except for those concerning the right of this court to try you, jurisdiction over the subject matter in paren?
Correct.
So basically, Mr. Fraudlewski, you have pled guilty to all of these crimes, and therefore anybody reporting on them is reporting the truth. Correct. And then here we got Shaq to the Future, who I highlighted in the first one that I did on Phil, and it looks like this could be his 7th account. Yeah, man, this guy goes hard, and probably going through quite the accounts, but he's got it all set up, so no worries there. But I remember when Filth, who he refers to Phil as, is Filth, thought his guilty plea colloquy, and if you don't know what that is, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. We're going to ask old Grok here. But a colloquy refers to a formal conversation or dialogue often characterized by its structured or official nature, used in contexts like legal proceedings, academic discussions, yada, yada, yada. You can see that on the screen there. In this case, this is Phil's guilty plea. So it was a potential loophole in his case, is what Phil thought. He got an LS and was arrogant AF, called it a cute little document that he was excited to share with his fam. But he never mentioned it again because he learned it was the nail in his coffin. So I'll have it here on the screen. I'm not going to read through it because we're going through a lot of the material, and we just heard from him basically going over this as they were reminding him that you are present before this court because you are a lawyer, has stated that you wish to plead guilty to some or all of the criminal offenses with which you have been charged. Please answer fully all of the questions on this document. And then he goes through the questions, and that's where he, right there, in his own writing and his own yeses and signing off on it, he pled guilty. And he pled guilty to a misdemeanor, which would now be a felony, as we covered in that first one. So let's get into this. So I think I highlighted this in the first Phil Godlewski exposure video that I did that included Chat to the Future. But the false prophet or prophet, notice the spellings there, but this is Grifter Elite, and this is it. So after all that, where he thought he was so tough and he was going to come in here and nail everybody for defaming him and all this kind of stuff, well, Phil Godlewski defeated in the Scranton Times lawsuit. And a lot of you research warriors out there already know this, and let's just bring everybody back up to speed, and then you can add what else you've learned down in the comment section. But Phil Godlewski was defeated in the Scranton Times lawsuit, and the court documents are here. I don't want to read all this to you because I'm going to link to it down below, and you can freeze frame on the screen. But basically it says, well, I guess Phil Godlewski made a little mistake when he signed the guilty plea back in 2010, which is what he was going over in that little video that we just showed and what Shack to the Future was highlighting. By doing so, he agreed that the text messages were the factual basis for the corruption of a minor charge. He did it. He pled guilty to it. So this is going into some of the text messages. Those text messages served as the factual predicate for the single count of corruption of a minor, and contained in the criminal information charging that Godlewski did repeatedly have inappropriate text messages and contact with a minor. So it's all legit. Godlewski is collaterally estopped from denying his participation in a sexual relationship because he signed it. Thus, Godlewski has failed to come forward with sufficient evidence, creating a genuine issue of material fact concerning the claimed falsity of Kelly's statement that Godlewski's pleaded guilty to corruption of a minor and admitting to having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old. Godlewski claims that Kelly falsely reported that he pled guilty to corruption of a minor and admitted to having sexual relations with a 15-year-old girl. But based upon the content of Godlewski's text messages, which served as the factual basis for the corruption of a minor charge set forth in the criminal information and Godlewski's sworn plea to that specific crime in a court of law, both of the foregoing statements by Kelly in his article are true. As a result of Godlewski's guilty plea to inappropriate text messages and contact, which he pled guilty to, with Miss Dubourgel, as set forward in the affidavit of probable cause, quoting the offending text messages admitting and memorializing a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old minor. And there you have it. The defendant's motion for summary judgment is granted, and that's the defendant right there, Chris Kelly of the Scranton Times, and Godlewski was trying to sue them. The clerk of judicial records is directed to enter judgment in favor of defendants Chris Kelly in the Scranton Times LP and against plaintiff Philip Godlewski in the above captioned matter. Against plaintiff Philip Godlewski, no matter what he tells his followers. That is the facts. And you can read the full court document, as I will link to on this. And, man, just great work what people are doing, but the facts are all there. And so I wanted to point to another account on X, and I think this links right back to this website or a part of it, so you can join there. So people that don't have these social medias, like I said, you can get to those kinds of things. But the one thing that I really wanted to point out here, well, I wanted to point out this. So this is the amount of money that Phil Godlewski has grifted, and it's beyond evil. And so right here on the screen, let me blow it up a little bit. I'll just show here on the screen, but it's just crazy how much money. Purchasing of Philazona, it must be in Arizona, LLC. All this money he has grifted from his followers, and it continues to this day. Why? I don't know. I mean, people just want to believe the hopium that he sells, I guess. So there you have it on the screen. Yep, for those of you on X, you probably might have already seen that. But one other thing that I wanted, so she shares a lot of the same people that I've already been sharing on, but they all are working together. I thought this was great. So this one took me to this Rumble. So if you're not on any of these, this is another option right here, all connected to the Grifter Elite 2.0. And the cool thing about this is that anytime that this fool does a live stream, they live stream, I think, at the same time, and then just have some fun with it, exposing him. Let's check out just a little bit of this so I can give you a taste.
and making sure that, you know,
That
you're
was
in all of our
stressful.
trainings.
Did he
You know
have
about
to
all the member
be
benefits,
on
you know, how to
time
use your Sound Money
today?
wallet, you know, how to set your autosaver.
Okay, good. Sounding
you know, what
good.
events are coming up. They have
Okay.
a 7K convention once a year. We had a meet and greet a couple
Hi,
years ago in
Shauna.
Las Vegas. Me and the rest of my team. That was fun. It was a blast, actually. We should do
I
that
wasn't.
again,
I was.
maybe
I
next
had to
year.
be quiet because my voice was breaking up.
But yeah,
But now he's like selling. So
go get signed up. And of course, for the
I guess I could put the money hat on
the
him.
bigger wealth, you know, the 401ks and the IRAs. 5 questions. Goldquiz.com. They'll ask you 5.
It seems like a lot of fun. So if you can't stand Phil like me, I can't watch his live streams, but I could sit through this, and then you can read in the comments and stuff. They just sit there and roast him and roast him and roast him while he's doing his live streams, as they call them. So I'm just giving you guys some more tools and some more links so that you can get to some of these things. I don't want to make this super long. I've got a lot of stuff going through on this end. While I was recording this, the breaker tripped, so I lost power and I had to pause, and then I'm dealing with some stuff. But one last one, just to highlight this. Marty Like Me Now, we saw him a little bit earlier in Shack to the Future reposting. Phil Godlewski stole the bulk of his money with Goldco. He and Kelly Felix take 10% off the top. The rest is overpriced coins sold to elderly customers who end up losing half their retirement. Goldco supports Phil, who has been convicted of child sex crimes, like we just showed, and his cases are not working out so well as he's trying to defame them for something that he really did. So let's check this out.
I did sleep with a minor.
Well, shortly after this post, if I'm thinking of when it was, my viewership and subscribers went from about 7 or 8 million to 17 or 18.
Okay. Phil, you reported recently, couple months back, 2 months back, I think it was, that you're now worth $50 million. Do you remember that post?
At the time, yes.
Yeah. Is that true?
At that time?
Yeah.
Yes.
And are you worth more than that now?
Yes.
Okay. How much are you worth now?
Objection. Between 75 and 100 million.
And where's all this money coming from?
Objection.
You can tell me.
It's coming from having 17 and 18 million subscribers, launching businesses that help those subscribers succeed, and in which also help me financially, of course. It comes from having 17 or 18 million people watching me, being paid from Rumble, getting advertising contracts for that. It's a lot of money.
Do you get a 1099 from Rumble?
Yes.
And do you get a 1099 from Locals?
Yes.
And I thought I saw in Locals you had about 35,000 subscribers.
On Locals?
Right. Okay, and how much do they pay per month for their subscription?
$15.
$15?
So what do you get on average per month from Locals?
Objection. The amount differs because the subscribers go up and down. I sent you that, actually.
On average?
50 to 75,000.
Per month?
Yes.
This is the George Magazine article.
Oh, which was touched upon in that first intro or whatnot with George, where they did a broke down, and they've shown that he's a scammer. And there is just the disgusting truth behind it. I mean, if he really is worth 75 to 100 million, he's got to be numero uno. Who's handling this guy? And who's protecting him through all of this? It's really unreal. And then one other thing that I wanted to highlight that came up while I was doing a little bit of this research, and I'm going to keep this one short for you guys. Ezra A. Cohen, who gets quoted a lot in the Q stuff. And obviously, I think he's one of the names where Phil was trying to say he handles him or he's in charge of him or some crap. Who knows? It depends on the live stream. But anyways, just for everybody out there, and this isn't going to rub some of the Q people here wrong or right or however you want to say it. It's not good look, but things to consider, because Ezra is coming out here, and I just saw someone else, not Phil, somebody else just posting on X about how Ezra Cohen posted something, tweeted something, and it was a delta on the Q board. So be aware of this. Ezra's saying right here, to be clear, there is no significance to the time when I post. I post whenever I have a thought I think might be interesting to others, regardless of time. No secret code or meaning. Oh, and all the QAnon garbage is a foreign intelligence operation meant to delegitimize conservatives and specifically Trump supporters. It is all lies. Now that we have set all of this straight, I hope you can reclaim a large portion of your life and be a more productive member of society. And so, you guys get to believe what you want. Man, when I was doing this channel, I was always joking and saying that I'm still a little bit Q-tarded, and I think that there was something that Q did that ignited a lot of patriotism, and now I'm questioning a lot of that kind of stuff right now. I'm getting attacked by guys like Scriptkeeper for that kind of thing, but I'm willing to question it. But when you see someone like Ezra, who gets quoted a lot, and his deltas and stuff like that gets posted, and people try to draw the conclusions, we got to be careful about what is real and what's not. What is people bending the truth or trying to make something out of a tweet that isn't at all still associated with this? Because we're getting down to the end. End in the sense that, like, either is Trump going to make it? Is he going to get elected as president? Because if he doesn't, all these grifters that have been pushing this stuff, Trump CIC and all that kind of stuff, you get to still have your opinion on that. I'm not saying yay or nay on that. I'm just saying it's going to severely challenge those things. And how many more years can people continue to believe that Trump is in Cheyenne Mountain and running everything as everything goes to crap? That's one thing. But if he does get elected, how long do you give him while he's in there to announce that he's Trump CIC the whole time, and this was a sting operation, and arrest all these people? If certain things like that don't happen, there's no reevaluation of currency, the gold-backed currency, the QFS stuff that I have scammers on this site I've been alerted to. People are coming in and trying to do the QFS and saying that I'm involved in that. I am not involved in any of that. No freaking way. But how long do you give him? For all the people here that still support a lot of the Q stuff. And I'm not against it. I'm just saying. I mean, I come from Gene Decode, as I've emphasized many, many times. How long do you give Trump, if he gets back into office, to come out with a lot of the stuff that we've been waiting for a long time? I'm curious to hear your comments down below, but this once again was highlighting the clown show that continues to be Phildo Fraudlewski. Keeping it short for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to try to get content out as I can, dealing with a lot of stuff over on this end, but I do love you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here. I'm getting ready to jump over on the Michelle Moore Show with Mike Gill. Continue to follow that and the reading of the board and the things that he is discovering. Mike Gill has got a huge heart. I wish more people understood that. I've been able to converse with him a couple times now, and he cares about me, my health, my shoulder, and the things that some people just don't ever get to see, and it breaks my heart. But Michelle Moore knows, Crash knows, and I hope more of you are seeing through the liars that are coming out against him and a lot of this stuff. But when it continues on this painfully beautiful journey of exposing the cons, the cults, and the grifters, that is, I think, paramount right now, because it unlocks, if we can get people free from people like Phildo, it unlocks their consciousness to be free to think for themselves again and not be persuaded by all of these narratives that are now starting to fall apart, especially the extreme stuff, like the stuff that Gene Decodes and the Phil Godlewskis and stuff push and continue to do this day. We get rid of those, we get more people in this fight. And you don't have to agree with anything 100% that I say or that I share. I try to bring you stuff, and then I'm open to everything. Like, I'm not against Q, I'm not against all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, you guys get a taste of where I'm kind of at with things, of questioning everything, doing our best on this journey to whatever this thing of truth is. It seems like all truth is wrapped in so many lies, it's really hard to get to the center of it. But we do our best here on D-Mind to Boomasan's Rumble channel to at least give everybody a platform, regardless of what you believe, to speak down in the comments and converse, because I learn a lot from all of you. And I love a lot of your perspectives. I pray that a lot of good things are coming for this country, but let's be prepared for anything, because who knows what's about to happen. But also call out the frauds as we see them. So Phil Godlewski can kiss my digital booty all day, every day. We'll continue on this path. Use the links down below. I love you all. God bless, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah! You're gonna die, clown! You think that's funny? I don't hear you laughing now! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Enough. What? I can't do it! Come with me, Happy. Come on! Suck, you stupid clown!